It's so easy to crank out new tools. Like we've got another one we're releasing, 3 free tools. One of them is a YouTube transcriber. So the issue with YouTube, if those of you haven't figured this out yet, you can go to any YouTube video, click the little 3 dots in the corner, grab the transcript, just copy it and paste it into ChatGPT with a beautiful prompt. You can have a summary in the voice of your famous YouTube personality, and then you can turn that into your own customized script and, connect it to an automatic AI voice and an avatar, and you can recreate videos in your own voice from other people's content in minutes.
And it's doing a great job. It's the top selling pickup truck in the world. I mean, they're nailing it. But at the very same time, they realize that the electric vehicle market is huge and growing, and that is the future. But rather than killing the old factory, they build a new factory, literally right next door to the F-150 factory. And in that, they start building, the Ford Lightning. And it's a very different factory. It's full of programmers. The floors are polished white. It's a completely different thing. It's still Ford. They're still making trucks, but very different in every other way. And it's this idea, this way of approaching these things where you don't kill the old. You still keep doing the old, but you build the new factory and you just start doing it.
That's one strategy that I think you need to do. And it all starts with vision. I think you need to have 2 visions. One of them, is how are you going to evolve your business organically, rapidly over the next 2 to 5 years so that you don't get disrupted? And then 2, analyze your business and say, if I was going to get disrupted, who's going to take me out? And most of the companies I talk to, they need to develop both strategies at the same time, because one of them is long-term, one of them is short-term and iterative. And you also don't know for sure with certainty that, the Black Ops situation is going to actually materialize. So that's the first thing we work on is the strategy. So going back to we're on Rockefeller Habits, I think you're on Traction. It's setting your BHAG, setting your moonshot, and working your way back to your 5, 3, 1 year, quarterly, your PSPs, your rocks, all the way across your team. That's the first thing you need to do. And getting alignment from everybody is important. So API stands for Application Interface, and OpenAI is the parent company of ChatGPT. An application interface is a way that 2 different pieces of software can talk with each other. You can use that. That's just regular web browsing or an app like before. Or if you're a developer, you can connect using their API. You can connect to their system, and then you pay to access their data. And most apps, I would venture to say the vast majority of apps, AI apps that you see right now, they're powered by OpenAI's data that they access through that API connection. I was talking to one client or friend that I met in Victoria, and they have, well, I have to be careful what I say because I don't want to scare their team, but they have a bunch of people doing stuff. And just with 5 minutes of work, I think they could probably get rid of 90% of that team. And how much would it cost them? $25 to $50 a month and maybe an hour of setup. You can spend $50 and save $200,000 a year on your operations. And the use case, it's way, way stickier. So that people are using it for just random day-to-day things. And there's other people that are automating their businesses. There's so many immediate use cases. But the crazy part here is what you play with there is just the tip of the iceberg. What's coming down the line here is just, it's where it gets crazy. I think if you dedicated a solid week to saying, I want to become an AI developer, you could probably figure it out. I mean, you can even just you could go to ChatGPT and say, I would like to become a developer and do these things. How do I do that? And it will tell you. And then you drill down step-by-step instructions. And you can even get you don't need a software development background anymore to become a software developer.
It's wild. It's overwhelming too. I think the regular people like me that don't spend all day thinking and talking about this like you, they're very interested. I'm definitely interested. But I'm not going to spend my nights just experimenting with it for fun. I got other stuff I want to do, but I want to do stuff with it that generates a result for me. Helps me, improves my life in some way, helps performance of our business or the experience of our clients or team members. But it's overwhelming. They know it's amazing and it can do all this stuff and it can do more than what they think it can do.
So if you got, say, your SOPs for your whole company and you want to build a chatbot that will, anyone have questions about SOPs, instead of bugging your HR manager, just ask the SOP bot. you can do that in 5 minutes, and suddenly your HR manager is like, thank you. You just saved me like 80% of the most annoying questions I get every day are now being automated by a bot in a couple of minutes. Most companies have been shifting resources out of blockchain into AI development. And they didn't mention the word metaverse once, and they said the word AI like 36 times, and they've taken all of their developers off the metaverse project, which those of you who don't know, metaverse is, it's closely tied to NFTs and cryptocurrency and blockchain. And yeah, they've shifted. And yeah, I mean, a lot of the dev resources that we've thrown on our AI projects came from our NFT division. So yeah, I mean, even look at Facebook. That was a press release or the investor session about a month ago. I think the big difference there is the use case for blockchain is still unknown. It's off in the future. It's maybe a storage of wealth if you're talking Bitcoin, but yeah, there's a lot of just so much uncertainty and unknown. And there was so much money invested into that space, and we haven't yet to see like a killer app really come out of that. I've always felt that the 2045 Ray Kurzweil prediction was slow. I mean, Elon is saying within this decade, everything is changing exponentially. So you have to think like everywhere around the world, the smartest people, the people that are building software, the people that are building, I don't know, I'm not a biomedicine person. They now have all these AI tools at their disposal, and the AI tools are getting exponentially smarter and faster. And the people that are building the next generation AI tools are using AI to help them code faster. Like in part of my presentation, you can see like GitHub, like that global repository of software is like some 41% of all software uploaded. And as of November last year was generated by AI. And we think like within a year, 18 months, you're going to see a 90% increased efficiency of software developers around the world. So what impact does AI have in just accelerating all of these other exponential technologies when suddenly the people that are building other exponential techs suddenly have 10x the dev resources? So everything is going to speed up, and they all feed into each other, even blockchain and 3D printing, robotics. And those businesses out there that aren't, say, in information tech are like, you know what, I'm fine. I need people at my restaurants, or I'm selling towers or whatever. You might be fine. Okay. But what about when the ChatGPT moment hit hard now for people in information, people selling data, pixels, even models and voice actors, marketers, consultants, like it's ripping through those sorts of industries now. But there's going to be another moment coming very, very soon, which will be the robotics moment for everybody else. That's when suddenly a restaurant can get a chef leased for cheaper than they can hire one, or they can even find one. Maybe they're not available. That's where you can build an advisory panel of experts, both alive and dead, to consult and potentially even have future conversations with each other to guide you on strategy. That's one angle, advisory. The second one we're calling assistance. That's where every single function within your company is either, improved efficiency 10, 20%, or completely replaced by one of these assistants. And that could be everything from generating a weekly newsletter to going out and doing research on the web and reporting back. And then the third one we're calling clones. That's where we start to clone the individuals in the company. So say you have a company of 50 people. I expect that every single one of them will have a clone, and every single function in their company will have an assistant. And then you'll probably have a small advisory panel for every department. And look, like a pretty normal goal for companies that I would set now if I was sort of consulting with them is you should be looking for about 30, 40% efficiency gains from your back office operations, from your customer support, from your sales. Like 30, 40% is a fairly conservative goal over the next 12 months. There's going to be a lot of agencies like yours that will become hyper efficient around AI, and they will develop competitive advantages that will allow them to gobble up all of your competitors. And hopefully that's you doing that to them. And yeah, you can go to a program like CDAP and say, I want to invest in this and come up with an AI solution, and the government can fund the whole thing. But people think this is going to be expensive. And really, we can automate your customer support in 5 minutes. So what I would do if you were thinking about getting serious with AI is first, I would get a CDAP consultant. And